I thought it was a good Mania. Like I said, it was probably in the top half of the last dozen. If you were to go back and rank from WrestleMania 30 to WrestleMania 41, I guess that's 11. If you were to rank all of those, I'd say it's probably top 5, borderline top 3. I think there's 1 and 2. It's WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40. And then you have to look. I guess WrestleMania 30 would be up there too. You know, the Yes Movement, the Daniel Bryan victory. But that Mania takes a big hit for me because of what happened to The Undertaker, always. But as far as this Mania is concerned, like I mentioned, night 1 was okay. Had its moments. Had some moments where you're like, all right, is this really a WrestleMania? Night 2 was phenomenal up until the main event. The run from the night 1 main event to the co-main event of night 2, where Becky Lynch returns and they win the tag titles with Lyra Valkyria. We get Lyra 2 belts. And then, of course, there's the main event, and we talked about it. Just did not live up to my expectations. Maybe that was the plan. Who knows? But when I look at this weekend, there's 3 things I want to talk about. The top moments, the top entrances, and the top 3 matches. Because that's what everybody discusses is, wow, what a moment that was. Or, wow, did you see that entrance? That was crazy. And then, of course, top 3 matches everybody likes to talk about. Let's start with top moments. My 3 top moments were Becky Lynch returning. This was something that you might have seen coming. Everybody knew she was there. And whenever we heard that Bayley was going to be out and Lyra Valkyria was going to need a replacement, I think we all expected it's going to be Becky Lynch. It's going to be. But even still, when that music hits, and it is one of the better wrestling themes in WWE today because most of them are trending in the opposite direction. But when Becky Lynch's theme hits, the place goes nuts. And that moment of the man coming around to Las Vegas and back in the WWE is one that is one that's going to be replayed a lot of times. John Cena winning his 17th world title is also up there. Whether you enjoyed it or not, whether you thought the match was good or not, he made history. And that's probably one of the reasons that he was getting cheered in that building and on Monday Night Raw the night after. Because everybody wants to see history. Everybody does. That's why Islanders fans were cheering for Alex Ovechkin when he broke Gretzky's record. That's why I'm trying to think of other instances. But either way, whenever history is on the line, even the biggest of rivals are going to cheer for the opposition. And that's exactly what we saw on Sunday. John Cena wins 17th world title. It is history. It does go down in the history books. It will be an image that is plastered everywhere forever. So that is a top moment. And then, of course, the top moment is Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns. Maybe not as much turning on CM Punk because at that point, there was still so much left to happen in that match. But turning on Roman Reigns, something that I don't think if you would have asked 4 months ago, anybody would have considered. I don't think so. Maybe if you asked them in the last weeks before Mania, they'd say, yeah, he's going to turn on both of them. He's going to side with Rollins because that rumor was going around. That speculation was going around. But him actually turning on Roman Reigns, officially ending the friendship, the relationship, the business relationship between the wise man and the tribal chief, one that stems back to 2020, half of a decade, that is going to go down as a tentpole moment for the 2020s. It shifted the entire decade, and we'll see what happens over the next 5. I don't know if this Heyman Rollins storyline will go 5 years, but the one between him and Reigns certainly was historic, and it came to an end at WrestleMania. So those are my top 3 moments. My top entrances, I think everybody is going to throw out CM Punk one, because not only do you have Living Color Live, which whenever you have the band that's created the song coming out and performing it live at WrestleMania, it's always going to go up. It's always going to rise up the list. But the video package before it was very good. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm a sucker for a good video package. And that one kind of matching together young CM Punk and his aspirations then to the CM Punk that finally achieved the goal, that finally got the opportunity to come out last at WrestleMania, to come out and main event a WrestleMania. All of that just played, it tugged on the heartstrings a little bit, but it just played so well in my eyes. So CM Punk, that one's probably the top but Seth Rollins is right behind him. I mean, the gear was insane. The flamethrower was insane. I'll throw out those glasses again because it was almost kind of emblematic of how he sees himself at that stage as, hey, I am going to sacrifice my body for the soul of this industry, to save this industry. He sees himself as a savior. He sees himself as a messiah once again, hence the white and gold gear. So that gear, that entrance, that immediately goes straight to the top. And the third one is one that I don't think a lot of people are going to kind of throw out when they talk about the best entrances, but the Damian Priest entrance was great. First of all, having the guitarist from Slayer there is cool as hell, but the shot of him being blurred out but emerging from the flames was badass. It was sick. So I'm going to throw Damian Priest entrance up in the top 3 as well. So Damian Priest 3, Seth Rollins 2, and CM Punk at number 1. And now to close things out here, top 3 matches at WrestleMania 41. I think 2 of them are pretty universally agreed upon to be in this list. The third one, you could throw a couple of different ones into it, but number 3, I'm going to give Dom Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship in a fatal 4-way. Penta's WrestleMania debut, Finn Balor is always great. Braun Breaker is always entertaining, but Dom Mysterio winning this Intercontinental title match to cheers, not only to cheers, but one of the biggest pops of the weekend, not on my bingo card. Him winning wasn't on my bingo card, but him winning to cheers, even though it is his hometown, we all have to remember that. Him winning to cheers is something that I don't think anybody expected. And it was a crazy moment. And it was made even better by the fact that the match leading into it was also extremely, extremely well executed. At number 2, Seth Rollins defeats both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And if you would have asked me Saturday night that what my favorite match of the weekend would be, I would say, I don't care what happens tomorrow. It's this triple threat match. It's Rollins, it's Reigns, it's Punk, it's Heyman, it's everything that we saw tonight. There's no way anything is surpassing that. And then it did. All respect to those 3. All respect to that triple threat. All respect to that main event. It was phenomenal. And you know what? It's a match of the year candidate. It is a match of the year candidate right away. But a match of the year favorite happened the following night to kick off the show. Io Sky retaining against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a matchup that it seemed like all 3 of them had something to prove. Rhea Ripley is one of the biggest stars in wrestling. Bianca Belair is universally known as one of the best wrestlers in the industry. Io Sky, even though was not as big a star coming into this one, is well respected around the entire wrestling world. There is a lot of respect for all 3 of these performers coming into this weekend, but there is copious amounts of respect that have been heaved upon them additionally after what we saw on Sunday to lead off the show. Io Sky, that was a star-making performance. Like I said, everybody around the world has respected Io Sky for what she is, which is a phenomenal professional wrestler, but nobody saw her as the top piece to the women's division. It's Bianca, it's Rhea. For the last year, it's been Liv, it's been Tiffany, who has just gotten up to that moment. It's been Charlotte, it's been Becky, but Io Sky has been down a couple of rungs. Now, you look at what she was able to do in that triple threat, and all 3 competitors were on their game. Not a spot missed, not a moment that wasn't capitalized on. But Io Sky retaining and the performance she had, that's a star-making performance right there. That is the number 1 match of WrestleMania weekend, and that is it for this episode of Bell to Bell. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this one. Remember, you can find us on YouTube at Nick Belsky. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, or you can catch us on Spotify at Bell to Bell. We'll see you guys next time.